So let's bring in Ted Cruz. I just want to bring Ted right in right away because we want to make sure we talk to him. There are so many things going on. Senator Cruz, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time. We have the senator here. There he is. There he is. Senator, so we want to talk a little bit about what went on, the testimony on the Hill today. But before that, Senator, something I know is near and dear to your heart, because I saw some of the video you took at the Del Rio crossing with the Haitian migrants, the 17,000, but most of them ended up somewhere in America. There's another caravan, sir, on its way from South America, headed this way, a lot of them Haitian from around the world. What are your thoughts? Tell us, just summarize the Biden immigration policy.
Yeah. Well, our southern border right now is an absolute disaster. I've been down to the border many, many times representing the great state of Texas. I've never seen it remotely this bad. At Del Rio, I was in Del Rio just over a week ago. Del Rio, when I was there were over 10,000 people, illegal immigrants, gathered under the bridge in Del Rio. Just a week earlier, there had been 700 people there. But the Biden administration stopped flying them back to Haiti. The vast majority of the illegal immigrants crossing in Del Rio are from Haiti. And in 8 days, 700 people became 10,503. And within a couple of days later, that became 15,000 people. To put that in context, the population of the town of Del Rio is about 35,000. So it's roughly half the population of the city in illegal immigrants gathered there. And it's because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refuse to enforce the laws and essentially have open borders. We're on a path this year under Joe Biden to have more than 2 million illegal immigrants crossing into this country. It is a disaster. It's a public health catastrophe. It's a national security catastrophe. And it's a humanitarian catastrophe.
Senator, we're showing video. We have some video, if you can roll it. There's another caravan on its way, sir. There's 17,000 strong right now on their way. They haven't even gotten here yet. And as we know, when the pictures start rolling in of migrant camps on the U.S. side of the border, people say, hey, border's open, door's open, let's go check it out. What do you expect is going to happen? Where do you think? Right now, they're right at Tapachula, the very southern tip of Mexico, ready to go into Mexico. Yeah. This is a breakdown, my friend. What happens when these people show up?
Listen, this is direct cause and effect. I had dinner last night with 2 of the senior officials of the Border Patrol and ICE under President Trump. And they were describing when caravans like this started, they would pick up the phone, and whatever countries were involved, they'd say, you need to stop this now, and they would do so. The difference is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris don't want it to stop. Yesterday, I sat down and met with the foreign minister of the country of Panama. She told me this year, just Panama has seen over 80,000 Haitians crossing their border illegally, heading north from South America on the way to the United States. The word has gotten out that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are not enforcing the law, and so we are seeing a massive influx of people coming here being brought by human traffickers, being subject to abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and by the way, these tens of thousands of people, they're not being tested for COVID. They're not vaccinated. Instead, the Biden administration is shipping them all over the country, bringing illegal immigrants to your community, many of whom have COVID. It is a disaster of hypocrisy. And Eric, the response of Joe Biden is to demonize the Border Patrol, is to attack the Border Patrol, is to repeat the lie that the corrupt corporate media took. There was one picture of Border Patrol agents on horseback where they were holding reins, and the corrupt corporate media said that the reins were actually a whip. And that was a lie, and it was such a lie that even the New York Times was forced to issue a correction and say, okay, those were reins, it wasn't a whip. And yet that doesn't stop Joe Biden or Kamala Harris from repeating the lie, from demonizing the Border Patrol. It's the same thing they do to law enforcement. It's the same thing they do to everyone who takes the oath to defend this nation, is they demonize and attack them. It's despicable. When Joe Biden said the Border Patrol will pay, that was shameful. He should be ashamed of himself. And I'll tell you, I'm proud to stand with the heroes in Border Patrol.
Yeah, and we support you in that, Senator, absolutely. And by the way, we've named it the Biden Express, this caravan after caravan making their way towards our border. Feel free to pass that around and use that on the Hill, because the more people that associate what's going on with the border with Joe Biden, the better it will be for us getting some action at the border. Sir, just to the testimony, I have a couple of minutes here, to the testimony today, and one of the things that stood out for us, and for me specifically, I'm here at Newsmax now. Apparently General Milley thinks Newsmax is some sort of terrorist organization. He wrote notes and then leaked some information to Bob Woodward. Senator, do you think Newsmax is a domestic terror organization? And what's this all about, this nonsense?
Oh, listen, I think Newsmax is a fantastic outlet that is actually trying to communicate the truth in an environment where the vast majority of the so-called media have become not just propagandists, and they're not just open partisans for the Democratic Party. They are the left wing of the Democratic Party, and they view their jobs like Pravda. And so I'm grateful for Newsmax and a handful of other outlets that are trying to get the truth out with a whole lot of headwinds coming at you, because there are billions of dollars that are trying to silence your voices, and I think your voices are really important.
Senator Cruz, we support you as well. We support all the efforts you do. You are in the front. You are front line against illegal immigration, against the country basically falling into some sort of socialist utopia of come on in, everything's free, sir. If it weren't for Senator Ted Cruz and others like him, I don't know where we'd be. And unfortunately, Senator, the country's falling to the left too fast. We need more Senator Cruzes in the world. Senator Ted Cruz, thank you for your time, sir.
Well, thank you, Eric. And the good news is we're going to come back. We're going to win in 22, we're going to win in 24, and we're going to bring this country back.
Amen, sir. Amen to that. Thank you.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.